board meeting at the Pikes Library District to order at 5:00 p.m. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Are there any items to move from the agenda? All right, then we'll go ahead and move into reports. The first is the Internal Affairs Committee. Aaron is on an excuse absence tonight, so I will just go ahead and give a brief update. The Internal Affairs Committee reviewed the audit that came back from the auditors that's presented to us by the auditors in the Internal Affairs meeting, and we'll go into some depth on that later tonight. So that was the only thing I didn't agenda for Internal Affairs. And then Public Affairs also did not meet. So then Brennan's.
There you go. There. Governance did meet. We finished up our bylaw rules review. We have sent that to the attorneys. It should be coming back. We'll do a final review, well, not really a final review, but we'll get it to all the board members. And I'm hoping to bring that forward in July.
Okay. Great, thank you. All right, then a quick report from the Black President. I just wanted to update the board on a couple of things, of course, as well as the public. So we did have a special meeting on Monday. There was, as some of you know, some confusion, misinformation on the internet about what was going on there, but that was, as the agenda stated in part, discussing the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, sale of any real personal other property interest as covered under open meetings law. In particular, we're discussing Ruth Holly Library facility and potential property acquisitions in that area. The closure of the Ruth Holly Library was not a matter of discussion, but that was spread on the internet. That is not the case. So just clarity on that. And then a couple other updates on the search for a new trustee. The last update that I had from the joint committee was that after the last appointment went through city council and did not pass, they're going back to review that position and potentially the next upcoming position as well. Potentially getting both the vacant position that's currently being covered by Dora filled, and then also possibly starting the search already for the next position.
I have a question about
Yes.
that. So did they,
Sorry, just.
I gotta get used to doing this. So did anybody say that they would reopen applications if they're going to be looking for a new one to replace the outgoing trustee for next year?
I have not been updated on that. I don't know, Angela, have you heard anything to that?
I did send through the governance board, a letter, a notice that there would be a vacancy. And they have not responded in any way of whether they would be waiting, doing them together. They are going through their own process and they will appoint when they are ready to appoint.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only thing I heard was from one joint committee member who said they might just do them both at the same time. So I don't know what that looks like, or if they're gonna do applications or anything like that. So I'll keep the board updated as I find out more, and I'm sure Angela will, well, she hears things before I do. All right, and then on Monday morning, I went with the some members of the leadership team just to speak with some folks over at Christ the King Lutheran Church about possible property acquisitions as well. So it's been a busy week. And I'm sure we'll get into some of that interesting comments as well as another foundation meeting this week as well. So I will hand that over then to trustee comments. Anyone want to share ways that they engage with the community on PPLD's behalf or engage with PPLD as a district?
I did attend the foundation meeting, and I would like to say that, you know, it's a great group of people coming together for a support of PPLD. Just does my heart good, and I just want to make sure they know that the board is appreciative of how they do support people in the library district. So thank you, please pass on to them, that they're doing yeoman's work. They have a possible pickleball going out, they're looking at the, what do they call it, the night of the museum, that's not what they call it.
Library.
Not the library, the new academy work going to be great. They are doing some really wonderful things, so it's nice to see them work together.
Good thing. Aaron's online.
All right, Aaron, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know summer reading programs going on, and my kids have been very excited and reading a whole bunch regarding that. So I love finding ways to help promote literacy for our little ones.
And as I understand it, the summer reading program is now open to adults as well.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, then we will move on to the Friends of the Pikes Peak Library District report. We did Jordan. She here tonight.
She had a regular scheduled friends board meeting earlier, so
All right.
if she's not online, she probably is at that. But
Then if there are any questions about it. Sure, we chat her then. Okay, and then we'll move on to the foundation report, Courtney, please.
Okay, is it? Can you hear me? Okay. It's just weird when I'm standing up here and I can't hear myself. So as Angela mentioned, we have a pickleball tournament. I know y'all were so excited about it last month, but we have it, we have put the email out and it is officially happening August 1st at Springs Pickleball, over kind of off of Garden of the Gods. Used to be Springs Trampoline, I think is what it used to be, so that will be the location you're at, but we are doing $45 for tournament play. That's from 6 to 9 p.m. and you are guaranteed to have 6 games if you want to do that. We're doing kind of a king of the courts. And please don't ask me about the ins and outs of the tournament. We are relying very heavily on the lovely folks at Springs Football to help us out with that. But if you just want to come and hang out, we also have an open hour on some of the courts from that 5 to 6 p.m. And then a family fun, that will be family fun time. That is just the 5 to 9 in the upstairs courts. And anything that's not tournament play is just $15 per person. So it should be a pretty fun little event, and we would love it if you could join us. And if you have any questions about it, or can think of anybody who might be interested in sponsoring or have prizes to donate, I would love to get your feedback.
All right, any questions for on the foundation report? Okay, then we will go ahead and move to the public services report. Any sales?
okay, so I asked Jenny Pierce in collection management to add to the public services report an update on the ILS migration. The ILS migration is coming, and that we expect that to take place in the middle of December. But there's a lot of work that goes into that. And so pretty much in the month of May, they spend a significant amount of time going through our current ILS and looking at all the data and all of the profile, creating that profile to match the new ILS system, so that we hopefully will have a nice smooth transition of transitioning all of that data over into the new system. So we prepared more updates to come on the ILS system. We also hosted Mountain of Authors. So we had over 30 authors here in this room with over 295 attendees. So always an exciting time for people to come and visit with local authors and see their materials that they have available and interact with them, plus a panel discussion as well. And then I just kind of wanted to point out that branch staff do provide a lot of outreaches outside of our branches. And so in May, they intended several outreaches, which included a literacy night up in Monument, a soccer tournament, a Silver Key Summit, which is the summit for seniors here in the community, amongst others. So those are just the things I wanted to highlight this month. Any questions?
No questions, then we'll move on to just support services, communications, facilities, safety and security, human resources, IT, or strategy and innovation. Any questions on any of those reports? No, okay. Then we will go ahead and move to the CEO report. Ms. Krebs.
Yep.
Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. So as you know that strategy and innovation team that it was created, I believe, actually last year, right? Their main focus is data. So, and as you see from your packet, I have quite a bit of data information and some of the stories as well. And my team members, actually someone gave me this t-shirt, Talk to Me Data. That's what they joke about. So, but we also have stories. So that's what we're doing. We are also collecting stories from our patrons. And I would like some of the stories as well. But first, what I would like to highlight, in 2024, we had total checkouts through Overdrive Libby. It was 3.4 million. Total checkouts of physical materials, it was 3.6 million, and total checkouts of children's physical materials was 1.7 million. So if you compare Pikes Peak Library District with LA Public Library, that's why we have like some of the facts there. So in 2024, LA Public Library set a new record with over 14 million Overdrive checkouts. PPLD had significantly less total checkouts at 3.413. However, when looking at those numbers in comparison in service area population, PPLD had almost 5 checkouts per capita, with LA Public having about 4. So it was 4.89 checkouts per capita at PPLD and 3.82 at LA. And also, as you know, our e-materials cost more. So if you look at your report as well, so it's roughly an average is $15 per physical copy hardcover when we purchase materials, and $60 per ebook copy. And it's a 2-year license. And I see someone in the audience that he and I had a lot of conversations about it last year, I believe, because he strongly believes that we should have more physical materials and also the price comparison, right? But if we look at that, yes, materials cost more, but it saves a lot of staffing time as well when it comes to processing. So that's some of the interesting facts from 2024. Also, I submitted annual report from 2024, and I think that's also good because Julie will be covering our audit, and that's how we do it. Those two go together when we have our actual final numbers. And so I wanted to ask you if you had any questions from the annual report. I will be also using this annual report with other fun facts and some stats when I'm in DC and trying to recruit for the CFO position as well. So, and I want to thank to the communications team for putting together this great packet for me. So if you don't have any questions from the annual report, I'm going to read maybe 1 or 2 stories that we're collecting from our patrons. Again, it's not only numbers, but we do serve individuals who appreciate our services. So one of the stories is that after becoming a mom, one patron struggled to find time to read, which she loved doing. As her 2 children started reading, she wanted to share her love of books, but found it costly and difficult to keep up with their needs and interests, as well as her own. And I can relate as a parent. First, when they start to learn how to read, you want to encourage them to read. And when they learn how to read, it's hard to keep up with them and try to get all the library books, right? So what she's saying, I was buying lots of books. Some would work out and others would flop. Books were becoming an expensive habit, she said. I was always willing to spend money on children's books because it's clearly so good for them. But I have a harder time justifying the cost of each book for myself. Then the family started using the library and everyone has been able to enjoy reading. So we have many more stories that we will be sharing more with you. And also not only numbers, but actual stories from our patrons, how Pikes Peak Library District is making a difference in their lives. Since I also came back from my vacation, I had some events to attend, and like what Julie said, it was quite busy. We did have a meeting with the church leadership. It was very, very productive and very good meeting. I also had meetings, Denise and I attended some community events together. I have some meetings scheduled with new council members as well. And also continuing conversations with Colorado Springs Mayor's Office and the parks concerning different parts of El Paso County, particularly Northwest area. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Right, if there are no questions, then we will move on to the business items. So consent items, are there any questions on the meeting minutes? Okay, then we'll move on to new business. At this time, we do invite members who signed up for public comment who specifically wanted to speak to agenda items to speak. And I believe we do have one. So first, Holly Spiglow and
excuse me, Chair Smythe, this is Nancy Henjum online. Could I possibly interject here and just make one quick comment? And I'm not able to attend the meeting tonight.
Certainly.
Can you hear me? I apologize for interrupting. I just came out of another board meeting. Is this an okay time to talk just for a moment?
Sure, we have a couple
Great,
of minutes.
Great, thank you. I actually really don't have much to report at all. I have no information about where we're at with the appointment of the vacancy. Other than I'm sure you all have been aware of the appointment that was put forward was not passed by City Council, so we're kind of back at square one. So I don't have any more information than that. And I am aware, and thank you, Board Member Dugan, for informing us of the upcoming vacancy as well. So I have talked with my fellow liaison, Lynette Crow-Iverson, just a little bit ago. We were in a board meeting together, and we're hoping to work on this and get a next step here for you all shortly. So that's all I have to report on that. And the other thing I would like to say, and we'll follow up with you, Tiana, and with you, Julie, is just would love to set up a time for you all to come present to City Council on your audit and just a kind of a general report on the library for City Council. I think would be very helpful.
We already have scheduled it in September for September timeline. So it's
we already have it scheduled. Oh,
yes.
Oh, fantastic. I wasn't aware that it was scheduled. Okay, that's awesome. That's all I have. Thank you for letting me interrupt. And I'm going to sign off now. Okay. Thank you.
And Ms. Spiglow, you may go ahead and take it.
Good evening, board, and I am Ms. Bigelow. My zip code 80919. I have a lot of issues with your audit. First off is page 73, 184, board packet, page 6. You claim that 38,862,375. That amount is less than your final 2024 budget by 63,769. I believe that's an error, because if you look on page 129 of 184, which is board packet page 92, you will find that your final budget was at 38,798,606. So actually your 38,862,375 is $63,770, which is what you report in your audit, more, not less than your final budget. Then you go to page 66 of 184, board packet page 29, your unassigned fund balance is 18.6 million. It's approximately 60% of your total general fund expenditures. Do any of you know how, what the GFOA recommendation is? That is
extremely high percentage. As previous budget director for the city of Colorado Springs, we are between GFOA between a 5 and 15%. That's just, to me, fiscal irresponsibility. Page 56, 184, board packet, page 19, the organizational chart dated 12/31/2024. It still shows Rock Rimmon Library. Wow, at a minimum, there should be an asterisk. You should at least include that you closed that before 12/31/2024. So you closed it on December 1st. That's intellectual dishonesty, and it's not transparent. Very poor job on your audit. I noticed that the Pikes Peak Library District doesn't disclose anything in the audit about closing Rock Rimmon. Like several times you state, there's about a $2 million of state backfill money that you approved in 2025. So you can't say that you don't know stuff that you did already in 2025 because that's in your audit. Just poorly done, poorly not transparent to the public. Page 71 of 184, board packet 34, you added approximately 4.2 million to fund balance. And then again, your math doesn't work out. You know, 2.5 million in attrition savings, approximately 2.1 million in the backfill. That equals 4.6 million or 5.6 million, not 4.178. So again, your audit needs to be looked at. Cash and investments of 26.8 million. Unbelievable. I wish a lot of governments had that type of cash and investments. Overall, district maintains a moderately strong financial position that's been stated throughout the audit. Your changes in your net position, page 69, 184, board packet 32. The district continues to maintain an extremely or moderately high current ratio of current assets over current liabilities. The ratio increased by 5 points to 10.1 versus 6 in 2023. Positive net position by 8.4 million. Yeah, okay, and your audit notes extensive financial guidelines policy. I'd love to see a copy of that. I request that you reinstate the Rock Rimmon Library for the 2026 budget. You do not have a financial crisis. They have a financial person in your.
Okay, and then, great, thank you for that comment. We'll be moving to the decision item 25-6-1, audited portion of the annual comprehensive financial report. Can I get a motion in a second, and then we'll go forward with discussion? Actually, I should present it first, never mind. I'll present the details, then we'll go to the motion and then discussion, apologize. Okay, so let me do that first. So if you guys go, I'm not sure what page it is on the board packet, but you should have the Forbes Mazars report in front of you. It's 3 pages that overview summary. So I'll just review that and then we'll go and see for the discussion. Okay, so we'll just go over page 1, which just goes over the scope and responsibilities of the audit and all of that detail. So pretty standard information there. So not only did I sit in on the internal affairs meeting to get that presentation on, I guess that was last week, last Tuesday. I also spoke with the auditor as well, just to get a little bit more information, make sure I understood the final report once that was presented to us. So it is these are unmodified opinions, meaning it's a clean audit, which is the highest level of assurance that can be provided by an audit. PPLD has been passing our audits very well for quite some time, and this year's no exception. So a lot of compliments to our financial team from the auditors on how well they put together the data and put all that information there, was accessible and also provided everything that they needed. We're very responsive. So thank you to the financial team for that. Okay, so, and just as a explanation of audits, audits test samples and possible risks. Not every, pencil purchase, as a would be cost prohibitive for taxpayers is not required for governmental entities, but they do look at a lot of test samples and any areas of possible risk and things that they need to assess. So there were no material errors, omissions, or problems with the financial data provided. No changes to the ACFR. So yeah, a lot of, like I said, they complimented our financial team There was no management letter because the team did as well, and no, internal controls comments. So if you go to the second page, under government auditing standards, the other information included within first stuff that's not audited, but it is evaluated. So he did want to just clarify that those are things that they look at but don't audit. So it's additional financial information on top of what is required by law. All right, then if you go to page 3, under significant accounting policies, there was a change in policy on GASB. In the, I think it was last year, yes, during 2024. So they made some changes to how, paid time off is dealt with.
That's what
They
it's
calculate.
Counted.
So, there were some changes under GASB, so we had to adjust for that. That's not common. Policy changes don't happen that often with GASB, but, when they do, we do have to adjust. So that was about $333,777 restatement, the opening balance net position. So, that change was just based off of something that was not within our control. So based on that, accounting will change. So now it's based off of what is expected to use, not what is paid, is kind of how they calculate that. So I'm sure if anyone has questions, Kim could probably explain it better than I can. Okay. So yeah, not an error, just a standard adoption. Let's see, they said nothing odd within PPLD's accounting, no errors or problems. They did talk about, there's an $8 million net income, and he said that half of that was a favorable pension fluctuation. Without that, we are part of El Paso County's pension program. So as inflation changes year to year, that number goes up and down. So that's not something that's within like our things that we're budgeting toward programs or anything. That's just the fluctuation of that. So about half of that was from that. Some of that was general fund surplus, and then about a quarter of that 8 million or a little bit more than that was from that state, the backfill from the state that we can't touch, and trying to figure out how to give it back or what they want us to do with that. So
We should know something about that by the end of this year. So when we will be calculating our Tabor limitation and meal.
yes, and I'm trying to remember the exact number it came out. I think it was 2 points.
Here's the point.
2,886,000, basically.
2,086,000. Okay, 2.1. I'm sorry. I had 8 in my head.
It will be also moved to the restricted area because we cannot touch it. So going forward.
So that's another restricted. Okay. And then if you see under claims and litigation on page 86, every government has outstanding legal things, so that's the standard. Boilerplate, and they did just check with our legal counsel to make sure there's no financial impact of any ongoing litigation. Okay, I already talked about sick leave, so that's kind of addressed again on page 4 in a little bit more detail. Under proposed and reported adjustments, you'll see it says no matters are reportable. Again, no changes to the numbers based on the audit, which again, they complimented Randy Kim and the financial team as well. Okay. So yeah, no written internal control findings. Let's see. I think that's it on the report. There were no material legal ramifications that concern the auditors. So no disclosures on that. So I guess I'll just ask the board if they have any other questions. I'll answer what I can, or hand it off to Kim, or if there's anything that we can't answer. The auditor did say we could route questions back to him as well. Mr. Taylor, Mr. Stevens, do either of you have questions on the audit?
I think I'm good. I just want to make sure I'm good. I think, you know, it needs to be stated too, that these audits do, take a lot of work for departments to go through, and, I love that you guys have followed absolutely every law, bringing in the correct auditors. I know last year, being new, I questioned who we had, were we following the correct? And, seeing it again today, it's nice to see that it's not a fluke, it's something that is continually happening. So someone who's questioned it quite a lot, thank you.
All right, Mr. Salt, online, do you have any questions about the audit?
No, I don't. I thank you. I appreciate the explanation.
Okay, great. So then I'll ask for a motion in a second, and then we can have a discussion. I do recommend that we approve the audit. I should say that before we do that. So a motion in a second.
Fix that error.
I'm
Can
sorry.
you fix that error that's in the audit?
I'm sorry. we
No,
don't
we're not
take
taking,
questions from the,
but I will move that we accept the audited annual, comprehensive financial report.
do you have a second?
Second.
Oh, good. Go ahead, Aaron.
Second.
All right, any discussion on the audit? I know that we all had to dig through all these pages and pages and pages. I appreciate the board's attention to the audit, as well as those who's have the internal affairs as well. So, all right, I'll go ahead and call for the vote then. All those in favor of approving the audit, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Fine.
Any opposed? All right. The ayes have it, so that passes unanimously, and we are done with new business and move to public comment related to today's agenda and directions for it.
We have 3 folks that have signed up for this portion. And I'll announce all 3 of you. If you want to wait near the microphone, it'll save us a little bit of time. I didn't mention this, I apologize before Lisa spoke, but there's like a 3-minute timer on the screen. But I'll let you know once that time is run out, because the little chime thing is not very loud. So our 3 speakers are Veronica Baker, Carla Powers, and Jacob Ward. Oh, and I did apologize. If you could say your full name and your zip code, I apologize for forgetting that portion.
Veronica Baker, 80919. As we reach the midpoint of the year and see more clearly what resources are available, I'm here to ask you to commit openly and urgently to investing in a library for the northwest part of Colorado Springs. The recent audit findings reveal a healthy financial position. With budget planning now underway, the time is right to begin public, transparent discussions about funding priorities for the future of our library district. The 2024 decision not to renew the Rock Rimmon Library lease, citing financial constraints, now appears misguided. As a recent editorial put it plainly, dying cities close libraries, growing ones open and expand them. That decision lacked both the creativity and the public engagement necessary to find a solution. And most importantly, it ignored the taxpayers' will. I hope this board takes those words seriously as you consider the future of both Cheyenne Mountain and Ruth Hawley libraries. Speaking of Ruth Hawley, there is a growing curiosity and growing concern about the number of closed-door meetings related to real estate facilities. In reviewing past board packets, I noticed a sharp increase in executive sessions regarding these things. The people of this district who love the library, who use it, and who fund it are asking to be included in decisions that affect their neighborhoods and lives. Instead, many feel pushed out and left in the dark. The district's recent public statement regarding Ruth Hawley Library and misinformation only reinforced that perception. When you post, the library district respectfully asks the public to cease spreading information that has not been personally vetted directly by them, you are not calming tensions. You are inflaming them. You are not correcting confusion. you are dismissing concern. One community member summed it up best. I am disappointed with the tone of the board's messages in recent months. It does not come across as helpful. It skews more toward defensive and patronizing. It speaks to how the board views its community as in need of reprimand and itself as an authority shutting down discussion. There's a diplomatic and gracious way to quell misinformation, and this is not it. The truth is, people don't trust you right now. So the question becomes, how do you change that? What are you doing to earn that trust? One step might be showing up. Reconsider decreasing face time at monthly meetings. Also of note, Public Affairs Committee has met only twice in the last 6 months, despite the intention of meeting monthly. 4 missed opportunities to address concerns, 4 missed opportunities to listen and lead. This moment calls for leadership that listens, and leadership that acts in the open, and leadership that understands its public is not the problem. It is the reason you exist. Thank you.
Hi, Carla Powers, 80919. You guys, we get together and we talk about these things, but we're not really talking. You guys talk and then we talk, and there's no dialogue going back and forth. As I'm sure you're aware too, it's very awkward. It's cumbersome for everyone here. And we're really not working together here to build a good library system and a good library district, which used to be an award-winning district from their finances, their programs, nationally known, beautiful. And this is just dragging everything. It's just not good, as you guys well know. To build trust, let's talk about, I know you feel like you can't talk to us because of lawsuit. How do we get out of the lawsuit? We need to talk. We need to talk and figure out what we can do about this whole thing. We can't just keep doing this all the time. You see, people don't trust. You see the problem. People aren't trusting. They see, oh, Rock Rimmon Library closed. Nobody expected. They see the facilities master plan. Ruth Holly is also there on the list of libraries to be closed. Then they see all these meetings about Ruth Holly, and they come to the conclusion, not our group, they come to the conclusion that that library is next to be closed because they're just having a logical brain. They're just following it logically, and that's what they come up with. They're scared. Your people are scared. We don't have to be doing it this way, you guys. We simply don't. I just want to say, Scott, I wish that Lisa, she was the previous city planner, you guys. She really knows budgets and accounting, and she really can help, and she wants to help. We all want to help. And right now, when you're having this time between people, CPAs, she would actually be a helpful resource for you right now. We see that we have a strong budget right now. It's a good time to be looking into what we're going to do in the Northwest area. It's a good time to be looking throughout the whole district, how we can have equal access for people. Let's work together and let's see what we can do. We don't have to be fighting like this. We don't have to be doing this. Can we please stop doing that? And let's see if we can work together. Things that are coming up is, these are just other things, I'm hoping that we think about detabering in 2026. You guys know that we're so underfunded compared to everyone around us. If we just detaper, if we explain it to people and show how much little money that changes what comes out of their pocket, out of their family's income, like $20 a year. I think we could really, I did the math, and so it's probably not right. But but we could look at that and see and just explain this to people. And I think that we could do that, raise the amount of money, more people access. Okay. That was actually good. I don't know.
What is that song?
It was like some Oscar playoff music or something. I don't know. The default sound.
I love that. That's sweet. Hi guys, I'm Jacob Ward. I'm president of the Pikes Library Workers United, which is our workers union here in the district. I have one thing to explain kind of, and I feel like there's a big disconnect here. about the reason we have a union. We have it because we love PPLD in general. This is personally the best job I've ever had. Many of us feel that way, and we have our union because we want to make positive changes for ourselves and for the El Paso County communities. There isn't a whole lot of trust right now. We've individually tried all the methods provided by leadership to push for change. There's conversations with our direct reports, written complaints via emails, virtual suggestion boxes online for us to make asks. Any way that we're allowed to request changes, we've tried, and that's one of the big reasons there is a union. This effort was started prior to many of the current leadership being in their positions of power. So we're frustrated, but it's not personal. We want things to be better, so that's why we're here. A lot of trouble can be saved by treating us with respect and listening to the unified voice of Pikes Peak Library Workers United. I believe you are all doing what you believe is best for our workplace. Our union believes some things could be done differently. We democratically decide what our priorities are, and we have a wide range of experience and talent that could better the district. One of the most basic places that you could foster trust and some goodwill with your staff would be our temperature closure policy. I've harped on this for 2 months now, but 2 more coworkers went home early due to heat-caused illness. The downtown branch yesterday, again, having to use their PTO for a problem that is the facilities problem. Nobody expects an immediate fix to expensive problems like that, but a more sensible policy is still important. Again, I'll state the current temperature policy says that a building must be below 60 degrees or above 90 degrees for 3 hours before closing a building, and people are falling ill. So that is an unsafe working condition. A change would help, and the current policy causes harm to us. So again, we really do love this district. There is a lot to love about it, even in some of our other policies. But sometimes change is required, and the resistance from this a reasonable change like this is an unnecessary obstacle, and it doesn't grow any trust. Since I have 44 seconds, I'll let you all know. Safeway down on Circle and Galley is on strike right now, so you'll see me out there handing out some water bottles to the workers. We should show up, and if you shop at Safeway, only get your prescriptions right now, please. Thank you so much for your time.
That concludes our public comments for the evening. And without objection, then we will move for adjournment. Right, we will adjourn at 5:43 p.m.